Well, hey there, and welcome back to Heimler's History. Now, we're getting close to AP exam time, and I've been getting a lot of questions from panicked and strung out AP World and APUSH students basically asking this. I need to know, are all the units equally important when it comes to studying for the exam? And the answer is this. No, some units are more important, and in this video, I'm going to tell you which ones you should be focusing on. So if you're ready to get them brain cows milked, well then let's get to it. So I'm going to do two things in this video. First, I'm going to tell you why you should study all the units for AP World History and AP US History, and then I'm going to tell you why you might not want to study all the units. Okay, first, why should you study all 9 units? Well, you should study all of them if you're aiming to get a 5 on the exam. All 9 units will be represented on the exam, and if you want to score maximum points, you need to know all the information and all the skills. And if you need some help knowing how to do that, then this video right over here is going to make all your dreams come true. But you didn't click on this video so that you could hear why you should study all 9 units, so let's move on to maybe why you shouldn't. Now, I can think of a lot of reasons why you would not want to study everything. Like maybe you have several other AP exams to study for, or maybe you just want to pass with a 3 and go on your merry way, or maybe you just have limited time and you want to make sure that you're studying the most important units in the time that you have. But whatever your reason is, I'm about to tell you which units are most represented on the AP World and AP US exams. And just so you know, I'm not making all this stuff up. Like, I'm telling you what it says right here in the official course and exam description published by the College Board. So let's start with AP World. Here you can see the breakdown of the units and the percentages of those units that will appear on the exam. So according to this, you should spend most of your time studying units 3 through 6, since those are going to show up 12 to 15% each, and then add the other units to your studies which have less representation on the exam. But let's just say that you only have time to study units 3 through 6. How would you fare in that scenario? Units 3 through 6 cover the time period 1450 to 1900, and here's where I tell you that the course and exam description further breaks down the exam questions by time period, and it looks like this. The multiple choice will cover all units, then you're going to have 2 short answer questions, both of which can come from 1200 to 2001. And then you have a choice between 2 short answer questions, and this is for the paper and pencil exam, and you only have to write one of them. The first will come from 1200 to 1750, and the second will come from 1750 to 2001. Then you're going to have a DBQ that will be from 1450 to 2001, and then you choose one LEQ prompt to write about out of the 3. The first comes from 1200 to 1750, the second comes from 1450 to 1900, and the third comes from 1750 to 2001. So if you only studied units 3 through 6, I'm not sure you'd be able to pass, and here's why. Supposing you got all the multiple choice in this section correct, you're still missing out on 250 years here and 100 years here. You're probably going to be sitting at something like 48 to 60% correct at best. On the first SAQ, if they ask you about this time period or this time period, you're sunk. Same for the second SAQ. For the third and fourth SAQs, of which you only have to write one, there's a chance that they could pull them from these time periods that you studied, but there's also a chance they could pull it from these periods. Then you move on to the DBQ, and you have a better chance that it'll come from units 3 through 6, but an AP World the 20th century is pretty significant, so you'd be in real trouble if they pulled it from this period. The only place you're sure to be okay is the LEQ. There will be one LEQ pulled directly from 1450 to 1900, which is units 3 through 6. So all that to say, it would be a significant gamble only to study units 3 through 6, even though they're the most represented on the exam. So my advice is to start studying those units and then add others in after. At least that way you're starting with what's most important and expanding from there. Okay, now let's do the same thing with APUSH, and the story is slightly different here because, as you can see, units 3 through 8 are more heavily weighted than the others. So if you only studied those units, you'd be missing out on about 14 to 20% of the material. But let's break down the questions and see how you'd fare. Units 3 through 8 cover the time period from 1754 to 1980. The multiple choice will cover all time periods. The first SAQ will be pulled from 1754 to 1980, the second SAQ from 1754 to 1980, and the third and fourth, of which you have a choice, will be pulled from 1491 to 1877 and 1865 to 2001 respectively. The DBQ will come from 1754 to 1980, and your 3 LEQs, of which you only need to write one, will come from the following time periods: 1491 to 1800, 1800 to 1898, and 1890 to 2001. So you can see that by focusing on those units, you've got a lot more coverage. The only place it has potential to come back and bite you is in the multiple choice, and then in the first SAQ if they ask you a question before that time period, and a small chance on the fourth SAQ. So for APUSH, my advice is most definitely focus your study on units 3 through 8, and then add in the unit with the next highest percentage, which is unit 2, and then add in the smallest units, units 1 and 9. Alright, I hope that answers your questions about how to study. Of course, if you need more focused help on your studies, then click right over here and grab my ultimate review packet. It'll make all your dreams come true. If you want me to keep making these videos, then click the subscribe button and I shall oblige. Heimler out.